Hello! Welcome back to the living room. Today I have a fun video for you that's all about friendship.
I have friends, I definitely have friends.
This video is kind of inspired by the fact that I have been working on a series of books called Adventurer Mage over on Wattpad. Go check them out if you're interested. That focus on a strong friendship. Sure, there's lots of adventure and danger and whatever else, but at the core of this is the very strongest of most adorable friendships. And that got me thinking about, hey, I could maybe give some tips on writing friendships. Like my writing villains video, and I think I did like another one somewhere in there. I don't even remember what I do anymore on this channel. But these are just tips and tricks in no particular order. This is not a list of you have to do this, 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 and this to write good friendships. No, this is just a list of tips and ideas that could help you out and sort of act as a jumping off point for you to write friendships in your own stories. Or maybe you're like, I want to write this friendship and it's not working. Maybe some of these will jog something loose for you and you'll be like, that's what I was missing. You all know that I might be the trickster god of AuthorTube, but I am not the god of writing, so obviously all of my advice is just advice. Let's get going. In no particular order, tips for writing friendships. The first thing to think about seems obvious, but some people skip this step. Why are your characters friends? Especially if they start out the book with an established friendship, the reader might be wondering, why are these two characters friends? What does each one of them bring to the table? Remember that in a good friendship, things should be fairly mutual. Both friends should bring something to the other that they could not get outside of the friendship or do not get outside of the friendship. Now, it doesn't have to be completely even. I'm sure many of you have experienced with your own friendships that sometimes one friend has to do more of that emotional heavy lifting than the other friend, but it always evens out eventually. So what do each of these two people bring to the table as friends? Another key thing to remember is that they are both whole people with likes and dislikes and interests. It can sometimes be difficult if you're writing a main character who has a best friend type character who's often tagging along, that best friend character, their whole life cannot be your main character. They have to have other interests and be a whole person aside from your main character. Here's another one, especially if you have women who are friends, they talk about things besides the romance. Just having a friend character who's along so your main character can bounce romance things off of them might be useful for the plot, but it doesn't make a very interesting friendship to read about. Presumably, these two characters became friends because they had interests in common outside of one character's romantic life. Unless the other friend is a matchmaker, they probably have something else that they enjoy. Maybe they go to Comic-Con together, maybe they love playing video games. All of my interests are very nerdy here. Maybe they are friends from book club. Give them things that they both enjoy and can talk about besides just the romance of the main character. Watch out that you're not using any cliches like the black friend or the gay friend. You do see this a bit more on TV, but I still see it quite a bit in books, especially the gay friend cliche. You got your straight character, usually it's a woman, and she's got her sassy gay friend. Sometimes we mix them together and she's got her sassy gay black friend. Please stop. She can have a gay friend, but his whole personality cannot be is gay. Same for the black friend. As we established earlier, I think you'll recall, they have to have interests and a life of their own. Going right along with that, the friend does not exist in a vacuum. The friend probably has a family. What does that friend's family think of your main character? And vice versa. It's always so wholesome and sweet when it happens where the main character goes to his best friend character's house and finds a whole new family there for him to take care of him and nurture him when maybe his own family isn't working out. I would love to see more stories where the reverse is true, where the best friend character comes to the main character's house and finds a new home and family there. Especially in young adult, the main character's family are either useless or dead, so that doesn't work out, but I'd love to see more of it. Tying in a little bit to what do both of these people bring to the table, it's important to know, especially if you're starting a book with an established friendship, why did they become friends? why did they stay friends? Knowing a little bit of their history is definitely going to help you, even if it never makes it onto the page. I recommend it be a good idea to know how they met, what drew them to each other for the first time, and also maybe some hardships that they went through in their friendship that they got through coming out the other side deciding to still be friends. On that note, what do they disagree about? What are points of conflict in their friendship? Because friends don't have to agree all the time. It can even be small things. Maybe one friend is just driven crazy by the fact that the other friend does this one thing. Maybe there's a joke that one friend makes that the other friend is just so sick of hearing. Maybe one friend likes to dip his fries in his milkshake and the other friend thinks that that is just weird and gross. So it doesn't have to be some sort of big thing, but you should figure out things that they don't agree on, big or small. And finally, the friend should not vanish the moment they stop being useful. You see this in a lot of TV shows, or at least you used to, where you'd have the main character and they'd have a best friend character who did useful things, like getting them out of school early, or being the guy in the chair kind of archetype. But once the main character progressed past needing that friend, the friend would just disappear. Unless they have some kind of falling out, which could be devastating for both characters, the best friend should not just vanish when they have outlived their usefulness. Some of you may know that I love the show Veronica Mars, and I think it's a great example of a best friend character sticking around even after they've stopped being like useful, because Veronica has the character of Wallace, who at first mostly serves as a sort of guy in the chair type of character. He has access to the school office, administration office, so he can get her information and things that she needs to solve her cases. But once they go on to college, it might be tempting to just get rid of Wallace because he's not serving that purpose anymore. But no, their friendship is wholesome and beautiful and continues, and they find family in each other's family, and I love them. And I will add also, this is just off the top of my head, but be careful if you are writing a white main character with a black best friend that you are not falling into this dangerous trope of having the black best friend just always being there and always doing everything for the white character and always just being like so happy to be there for his white friend all the time. As though the black character has no life of their own, has no situations that they would need help with, has nothing that would trouble them. They're just, so happy to be there to be friends with the white main character. You're gonna want to watch out for that one, please. One last tip that I, again, just thought of off the spur of the moment is to remember that friendship breakups can be as painful or even more painful than romantic breakups. So if you want to really hit your readers in the feels, but you don't want to have a romantic breakup, friendship breakups, especially if you've built up this friendship correctly, it's gonna just smash into your readers, because many of us, myself included, have been through a friendship breakup, and it is devastating. Are there any friendship tips that you would like to add to this list? Please comment them down below, or any harmful friendship tropes or helpful friendship tropes that you hate or love. And I hope that this was helpful to you at least a little bit. Thank you all so much for watching. If you would like to be my friend, kind of parasocial relationship friend, you can support me over on Patreon, where you get update videos on my writing and my life, and I keep you up to date on what's going on before people here on the regular channel find it out, so that's cool. And you can also be my friend on social media, links in the doobly-doo. Visit me on Twitter. I have like 3 people who talk to me on Twitter, so join the group. Anyway, I will see all of you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye!
Gallivant may not believe in you, but I do. I super believe in you, Tad Cooper.
SV, Rita, Thea, Alyssa, Deborah, Afra, Melissa, AC, Swamp Goblin Waifu, Sophia, Merween, Kit, Hidden Glade, Light Julie, Belle, Patrick, Anne Sophie, Ray, Shelby, Zaire, Jesper, Irene, Scribbling Cat, Savvy, Jenny, Amanda, Lisa, Sarah, and Lennox. Thanks for super believing in me, everyone.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. Yeah, you got a friend in me.